The season's finally here, and the players hit the field.
Hey, howdy, hi, Braves Country Radio. The Armchair Quarterbacks are back for the Monday edition beginning September 29th. We'll be reacting to the world of football from the weekend and getting you set for the week ahead. We'll also be talking Major League Baseball all October long, switching gears to the MLB free agent trade hot stove season that begins when the World Series comes to its conclusion. It's the Armchair Quarterback Radio Show, Monday mornings, 9 a.m., right here on Braves Country Radio.
The armchair quarterback, he's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man with a cool one in his head. The wife.
Armchair.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Armor Cokes.
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub cup. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Chief, what do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Armchair.
YouTube Live.
Radio station.
The radio station you can call your own. Do you know what listeners like about our station?
I like everything.
It's always on my radio.
We never stop the music, except for now, when I talk.
Armchair.
Do you think you can get me a tape of the show?
What on earth for?
Well, how often do you get to hear your son on the radio?
I'm on the radio every day.
You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
For me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
No one talks in my meeting. No one thinks you can run this. If you could, then I wouldn't be here. Because I'm sick and tired of our football team getting pushed all over the field. I want precision. This is an institution of learning, ladies and gentlemen. You've wanted your way for years. They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire...
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
He's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man. Yeah, the armchair quarterback. He's kind of fun and he's kind of bad. The all-American.
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Good to see everybody. Welcome in, Mr. Doug, and always late, Bobby. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm happy for another week of football. I'm happy to be back on with Doug.
Why do you always show up like right at the start time? God bless. 5 minutes late, early, late. Thanks, Doug, for actually showing up on time.
Least I can do.
This guy. I'm like, where is he? Did he break down the side of the road? Is he passed out drunk somewhere?
I'm alive and well. I'm alive and well. Usually going to the bathroom right before the show or something.
Did his fiance kick him out? Like, what's going on?
Hey, it happened.
Anyways, man, we got a lot to talk about today. I mean, this is going to be a wild show. You're talking about college football, pro football. We're jamming it all together now on Thursdays, and we've got Braves Country Today coming to your way at the top of the hour. But first of all, real quick, want to get into it. We don't really talk much about it, but Cal Raleigh, while you were sleeping last night, hit home runs number 59 and 60. Only people have ever hit that many: Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, Aaron Judge. That's the list. They did not do steroids. That is the list. And we're assuming that the current players have not done steroids. We know Babe Ruth did it on beer and hot dogs. So 59 and 60, and Judge hit a couple home runs last night too. I want to say he's at 51 or 52 right now. I believe it was 51. They keep trying to, I don't care what they say. I'm just going to put it like this. Cal Raleigh's the MVP. Yeah. And it's not particularly close, but because of the New York BS that comes from ESPN, they keep trying to pound the table about how somehow, some way, Aaron Judge is the MVP. I don't care what numbers you're looking at, because you can compare different kinds of numbers across the board. I get it that he's had a great season, but this is a catcher that's catching practically every day. Sometimes he DHs, but practically every day. And he's hit 60 home runs. The wear and tear that does on your body, as opposed to just playing the outfielder or the DH position that the Judge is in. Not to mention the fact you are leading a pretty darn good, one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball, to a division title last night. Shut the hell up. It's over. And I don't want to hear this freak. Anybody who votes for Aaron Judge over Cal Raleigh should have their vote taken away from him. Like, that's just the way I feel about it. This is asinine. This is stupid. This isn't even an argument. But I'm seeing it all over all those shows. Well, no, does he surpass the Judge? He's got him by 10 home runs. It's because he doesn't play in New York or Los Angeles. If he was a Dodger, they would be pounding the table. Anyway, we don't really have a lot of time to get into the discussion, but I got to get that off my chest. It is asinine. I saw it again. I mean, the guys who are a little less like that, the ones that I watch out in Vegas in the mornings, they have conceded defeat that it's Raleigh. But Aaron Judge. It's because he's wearing a New York Yankee jersey. It's white.
With that bias, I had always said he has to hit 60 to shut everybody the hell up. That's why I was glad to see that.
And he still has an outside chance to break the record. Now, I don't think it's very likely. I mean, you're talking about if anybody can do it this year, it's definitely him. But you're talking about, I believe they've got one game today, and then they got the weekend. Yes, they're at home against the Rockies once again. And who do they play on the weekend? They clinched the AL West last night. They play the Dodgers on the weekend. I mean, if he clocks if he breaks the record against the Dodgers,
yes.
Not only is that MVP's already sewn up. They should resurrect a statue on the spot in Dodger Stadium. So that's fun. I did not realize that there was Dodgers and Mariners. So we did the first attempt at what is basically like a red zone last night here on Braves Country Radio. A little more difficult because I'm jumping from game to game trying to do the broadcast, and we're trying to share it on 3D. And so we got the bumps worked out. Probably took me about 15, 20 minutes to get some of the bumps worked out, and we'll have it improved. But we're doing that again on Sunday for the last 2 hours of the baseball world regular season, 4:15 till whenever the hell it ends. I'm jumping on. There's no commercials. There's no breaks. I just go from game to game to game. And now you can jot down, assuming that he's playing, that Cal Raleigh Chasing History will be a part of that as well. So, all right. What is this guy talking about? Georgia Tech baseball in the middle of football season. All right, whatever. Let's move on. All right, let's see what the first thing we got on the docket today. Let's go ahead and get into something Bobby's not invited to. That thing is way too long. I remember that now. Bobby got knocked out with a Survivor. I think a lot of people lost Survivor. Now, Bobby, the good news is once one of Doug or I lose, we're going to start this again. We're just going to see how many Survivor trophies we can accumulate by the end of the season. Doug, remember, don't pick a team you've already picked.
Yep.
Who are you going with this weekend?
I'm going with the Commanders this week.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because the Falcons have a horrible offense. Even though they beat my Raiders last week, I think Washington is just the better team. Just Falcons are just flat, vanilla, and I can see them easily rolling over them.
Okay, so I need to pick a really safe pick because I have the Falcons upsetting that win this week. So if I can find a safe pick, I'll win. Let me see. I took the Bills. I can't take the Bills. Man, I wish I would have saved the Bills, but it's probably better because that sounds like that. You know, that's one of those games where you're going, how the hell did the Saints go in and beat the Bills? Every time they think that somebody has got it figured out. I remember here's something funny. Last week, Friday or Saturday, I was watching the NFL from out in Vegas. They were all pounding the table. You got to take the Seahawks, or sorry, you got to take the Saints to the points. You got to take the Saints to the points. They're going to shock the Seahawks. They're going to shock the Seahawks. I didn't give it much. I was like, whatever, dude. I was like, well, I don't know what you're smoking out there, but have at it. I look up in the second quarter of that game, it was over. They annihilated the Saints. All right, so first of all, not touching Philly. I mean, the Philly Bucks game. I don't want anything to do with that. I feel like I hate coming off a Monday night game though, but I feel like I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions.
I like that.
Yeah, it was between them or play it a little more aggressive and save the Lions. I think the Rams are going to get the Colts this weekend. Colts are 3-0, and I get it. Everyone's singing their praises, but I think the Rams are going to win that game. It's in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The Rams just lost a tough game. We're going to find out what the Rams are made of, right? We're going to find out what they're made of. They are either going to be going in, kicking and jiving, or they're going to have their daubers in the dirt and get – if the Colts start off 4-0, Bobby, our preseason predictions are wildly wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah, that's gonna
on the Colts side. I'm not beating you up.
I'm gonna have to issue an apology. I wasn't wrong about the Anthony Richardson part, to be fair, but who would have thought this would come from Daniel Jones out of nowhere?
The thing was at the time I was convinced that they would be convinced they had to start Daniel Jones, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what happened. They just said, we're going to start who the hell we want to start, and let's go.
Yeah.
Once I saw Daniel Jones was a starter, I was like, uh-oh. These predictions may be wild. These might be a little off. Because Daniel Jones is not the bad quarterback everyone made him out to be in New York. He was in
He's not terrible, no.
Nah,
I certainly wouldn't have guessed a 3-0 start. And if they start 4-0, my goodness, I don't.
He is especially with that defense is trash. I actually thought the defense was going to be a little better this year. By all the numbers are terrible. But anyways, that is our survivors, and it is time for, I think, everybody's favorite segment.
There's no need to fear. Stupid. Underdog is here. Stupid. Underdog. Stupid. Underdog.
John's laughing, by the way. Doug said, Doug's salty Raider survivor pick. Okay. You see the standings up there. We'll do this with all the different segments, but the one you want to pay attention to is the far left. You got Bobby at -6. His underdog did not cover. Doug's underdog did cover, so he gained 3 points, and now he's at even 0, and I am at 11.5. Someone asked last week, they messaged, I think it was Jason on somebody. Anyways, they wanted to know why the colors were the way they are. So, like, for instance, Doug's in second place. Why is he in red? And for instance, like, that's a good example right there. And Bobby's in green -6. It's because that's how we finished last year. And that's kind of the badge you wear going into this season and all season. You'll know, well, this is the guy that won that, or so it's green for winning. Second place is yellow and last place was red. I think there's one of them, the Doug and Bobby both tied, so we put yellow on both. That's the reasoning for it. So let's go ahead and get into the stupid underdogs. Bobby, you're in last place, so you get first pick. What you got?
Yeah, I got to make some ground up to retain my title here. I'm going to go with Mississippi State at home against Tennessee. They're a 7.5-point underdog. This is the Vols' first real test on the road this season, and they usually run into some trouble on the road against teams that they should be beating. It happened again last year against Arkansas, I believe. Nico and company really had a poor game. So I'm looking at this as a risky game for Tennessee. In Mississippi State, they're 4-0. It's not a very impressive 4-0.
What's the number that you had?
7.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, and Mississippi State, they're 4-0. It's not the most impressive 4-0, but that win over Arizona State's aging quite well. And I think it will continue to. I think Arizona State's a solid team. So Mississippi State plus 7.5 at home against Tennessee. I really like that one here.
Bobby, also remember, if you could put the picks in the YouTube chat, Braves Country Radio.
Yep. You want me doing that with the stupid underdog picks too?
All that you can put in there, because when you put it in there, I can flash it on the screen and we can multitask much quicker than that. Doug, by the way, for people who may be joining for the first time, what the stupid underdog pick is, you're picking an underdog to win outright. If you win outright like Bobby, if Mississippi State wins the game, they get 7.5 points. If they cover the spread, he gets 3. If they don't cover the spread, he loses 3, and that's the gist of it. All right, Doug, what you got?
I'm going to go ahead and take Oregon to beat Penn State this week. 3.5 points.
Oregon, you're feeling good about the Ducks, huh?
It's just got a lot of history between them, and Oregon, I have a bad feeling because I am pulling for Penn State, but I think Oregon's just going to get by them.
Well, I'm glad y'all didn't take mine. I thought for sure somebody would. Well, actually, I thought one of my two would get picked. Neither one of them would get picked. I'm kind of going a little aggressive this week just because I don't believe in Boise State. Appalachian State is 16.5-point favorites. And what I'm going with here is the idea that they will find a way to keep it close, and they may upset them there on the blue field in Boise. Now, probably not, but I like my chances. And man, if I can get that one, look out, baby! I'll have a heck of a lead. Let me see. Let me change this so it's a little smaller. Well, no, that's as small as it gets. Okay, I'll have to move Doug's picture over here for a second. All right. So there's the stupid underdog picks, and we move on to the next thing. It's time for our 6-packs. What do you want to do, NFL or college first? Bobby, I'll give you the reins.
Well, we got NFL coming up tonight, my team especially, so we'll start off with NFL.
Wrong button. All right. We do our 6-packs of picks every Thursday mornings now. And what we're trying to do is give you 3 college, 3 pro. They don't have to be. So it's not one of these things where, it's in stone. If one of the guys decide they only want to do 4 and 2, basically they'll just let us know at the beginning of the show. Do y'all have 3 and 3 or do we need to adjust?
Yeah,
I've got 3 and 3.
Okay, cool. So, Doug, we'll let you go first on this one. What you got on your – and by the way, these picks can coincide. If someone really likes a pick, we're not going to stop the other guy from picking it as well. It's not like the stupid underdog pick or the survivor. All right, what you got?
All right, my first pick is I got the Broncos playing the Bengals. I'm taking the under in this game. The over-under's at 44.5. I'm taking the under just simply because I don't think the Bengals can score. And also because the Broncos – I think Sean Payton's going to come into this game, do what he has to, and get out of here. He's got I think they're more worried about playing the Eagles next week. So I think they're going to come in to score enough, let their defense shut down the Bengals, which I think will be pretty easy to do. Low scoring affair and get out of there.
Okay. So Doug's got the Broncos, Bengals under 44.5. And Bobby, that goes to you.
Yeah, my first pick, I hate doing this, but I'm going to go with Seahawks money line tonight, sitting at -120. Cardinals, obviously we lost James Conner for the season. He's done. He's one of our probably 2 good players on offense this season. And then on defense, Will Johnson, he's listed as doubtful for the game. We're already banged up at corner. Of course, Sean Murphy-Bunting, he's already out for the year. We've known that. So we're going to be really thin in the secondary, which is where we've been pretty good. We're pretty good to start the season, and now our best cornerback's out. So we're really banged up with injury, and I also think with how just poor this offense has been, and the defense hasn't been a whole lot better, I think the Seahawks are going to have a pretty easy time. I know we play at home tonight, but the Seahawks tend to have a lot of success at or in Arizona, and vice versa as well. We tend to have a lot of success in Seattle. Not quite sure. So I'm going with the Seattle money line here, -120.
All right,
John. I know I hate doing it, but it's an honest pick.
Well, I'm convinced that you try to do the
reverse jinx,
the reverse curse, right? You're like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to pick them, and then that way, if
it's not that. I even, you know what? It actually opened where the Cardinals were the favorite. They were -1.5 favorites themselves, and it's kind of swung back the Seahawks' way. I think I would be a little bit hesitant on it if our best corner wasn't playing, but I think we always get cooked by Cooper Kupp, even though he isn't having really much of a season right now. I think he's going to show up tonight, and I also think Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to have a big game too, with Will Johnson being out. So it's going to be tough.
All right, I'm going to go with, let me see, my NFL. Yeah, that does coincide. So I'll go ahead and give you my first one here. I'm going to take a teaser, and with the teaser, the Green Bay Packers are a 6.5 point favorite. All they're going to have to do is win, right? So they're -0.5. And that's going to be logged in or lumped in with tonight's game, Seahawks Cardinals. I just don't see a lot of points being scored in this game. And so give me what is now an updated line, Arizona and Seattle under 49.5. And I get what you're saying about the injuries and whatnot. It just seems like when these teams in the NFC West play each other, you get into rock fights. And all I need is a slow start to the game, and I'll be okay. And
almost all of our production has come from James Conner this season. Oh, him and Trey McBride. And I know you're a Florida State fan, but Trey Benson is a very big step down from James Conner. So it's going to be rough.
Yeah, well, and I just kind of figure but don't you kind of feel like that's the only way they're going to be able to move the ball is running the ball? And I don't really necessarily see Sam Darnold all of a sudden turning into Sammy Ball overnight. So I just kind of figure this game's going to be, I knew Doug would get that reference. I kind of figured this game's, if I'm going to guess the final score of this game, I'm going to say 17-16. That's nowhere near 49. It seems like every time, even in years when you've had explosive offenses, right?
Yeah.
In this series, even in years like that, they still end up low scoring games.
Yeah, especially between these two teams specifically. I know what you mean.
And the Thursday night unders, John's mentioning as well.
Yep.
I like that. Now it's usually a little more towards the end of the season when everyone's tired and banged up. They don't but still, we're 4 weeks in. Thursday night under, because people want to bet the over, so if you wait on this, that number is probably going to get to 44.5 on the, and then you can really hammer the under. But I'm taking it where it's at. By the way, for people who are wondering, we go with the number on ESPN Sports Bet. If it's an individual one, we like a team total or whatever, I will accept Hard Rock as well because we're in Florida. Doug and I are both in Florida. It's hard for us to see the ESPN Sports Bet app, but we can see their numbers on their site. Okay, Doug, what you got? What's your next pick?
Next one, got the Jets and the Dolphins. On paper, the Jets are actually not a bad football team. The Dolphins, on paper, in real life, are a horrible football team. So then this one too, Jets and Dolphins playing, it's a division rivalry. Anything can happen. But I think the Jets are just a better football team. Give me the Jets on the money line.
Oh wow, okay, you're getting aggressive. We'll give you the 2.5, Doug, because you don't gain anything by taking the underdog on the money line. Okay, so we'll go ahead and give you Jets plus 2.5.
All right.
It's not like, I mean, in real life, yeah, go ahead and hammer the money line. But what I'm saying for this particular thing,
gotcha.
We're going to give you the 2.5 point spread. I don't necessarily hate that. I'm assuming Tyrod Taylor is going to be up there playing again.
Yeah.
By the way, Bobby, if you want to abbreviate any of these, feel free, because it'll fit on the screen.
Gotcha.
Even better, but you do you. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to spell out Dolphins, or if you just want to go, NYJ plus 2.5. We get it.
Gotcha.
Bobby, what's your pick?
My next pick, I'm going to the Panthers-Patriots game, and I'm seeing the Panthers as a plus 5.5 underdog on ESPN. After the performance they had last week against Atlanta, I'm not sure why that's the case. And the Patriots, they're not all that good themselves. They're 1-2. They're 0-2 at home as well. Something to make note of. So yeah, I'm all over the Panthers here at plus 5.5. I think they're gonna. I'm not sure if they're gonna win. It's gonna be tough to beat the Patriots on the road, but I do think they can at least cover that 5.5 point spread after what we saw last week from them.
Patriots better win that game. After the way they fell apart last week, you can't start off 1-3 and one of those losses be at home to the Panthers.
Yep.
And didn't they lose to the Raiders too, Doug?
Yep.
I mean, that's Vrabel. I know it's his first year. Get it together, son. Yeah.
Yep.
And,
well, the offensive coordinator as well.
To have just more of the same. Okay, so my next pick, NFL wise, we're getting it at a minus 150 on the money line. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. They're going into Kansas City. Somebody's got to start off 1-3, right? I just think Baltimore's the better team. They've had some fumbles from Derrick Henry. They've had some miscues, but all in all, they're a much more explosive team. They blew that game against Buffalo a couple of weeks ago. They had that thing in the bag. They really kind of played with their food on Monday night. They had several opportunities to put that away, though I do think the better team won. Baltimore ought to crush Kansas City, but because it's in KC, giving the money line, the minus 150, that's as high as we will take a money line, by the way, on our picks. Okay. Doug, what you got?
I'm just going to finish back on the Commanders and Falcons. Like I said, I think offensively, like I said, the Falcons are hapless. I'm just going to take Washington on the money line, minus 115.
So you are all going all in on the Commanders.
Yep, just how kind of, like I said, how bad Atlanta's offense is playing right now.
Is it strange that I still don't write out Commanders? I always put WFT.
Yeah.
The Washington
football team. I can't believe they let that happen for a year. Washington football team.
It was a better name than Commanders.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's like Utah Hockey Club or whatever it is.
I know, but I'm saying that it's better than Washington Commanders. Commanders immediately turns into commies. You can't have a bunch of commies in Washington. I'm just saying, like, Washington football team actually set them apart. The Redskins is the far superior name across the board. But if they're not going to go back to that, man, they had perfect time. I mean, that was because all your soccer heads were going to start becoming Washington fans, because that's what most of your soccer they call them that worldwide. So it's a guy sitting over in England who gets into the NFL. He's like, hey man, this team knows what they're doing.
Pretty soon.
It's
another football club,
right?
Yeah.
Instead, they turn into WTF. And okay, where are we at, Bobby? Your pick.
Yep. So I'm looking at the world of college football here, and I'm going to go with Georgia -3.5 at home against Bama.
So you only had 2 NFL picks, or did I miss one?
No, sorry, you're right. I'm on my third pick. I don't know why I'm thinking I'm on my fourth. My third pick is Packers -6.5 versus the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Completely skipped over that one. And after last week, I probably should have skipped over that one because I picked the Packers -7.5.
By the way, that's Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a doubleheader on Monday Night Football.
It's a bad one. It's a
yeah,
bad.
Two stinky.
Jets,
stinky
Dolphins, Bengals, Broncos.
Yeah. I mean, if Burrow was playing, that Bengals Broncos game would be interesting, but now it's just yuck. But yeah, Sunday Night Football. I'm gonna go with Packers -6.5 versus the Cowboys. I mean, we've all seen how poor that Cowboys defense is, and I think the Packers are going to have a lot more success than they did against the Browns last week. I think it's going to be less of a rock fight. I think it's going to be a blowout. Give me the Packers to cover that -6.5 point spread, even after what they did to me last week. I picked him in Survivor. I picked him in a Survivor League where I have a lot of money on the line, and then I had them as, I think, my lock of the week last week, but I'm giving them another chance.
All right. What you got, Doug? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's my pick. It's my pick. -6.5. So that takes me to, here we go. What time is this game? I think it's an early game. Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, early game. Oh, early game. That's right. It's over in Dublin, Ireland. Speaking of trying to get people to watch your sport. So here's my philosophy on this. They go over the pond. No, neither one of these teams took a week off, right? It's a little sluggish, a little tired. This usually backfires on me. The other thing is I really like the Minnesota's defense on most weeks. I think he dials up a lot of pressure. I don't think the Steelers' offense is nearly as good as folks might think just because they put points up on, like, the Jets, right? Give me the Steelers under. Their team total under is -20.5 or over under 20.5. And I'm going to take the Steelers under 20.5 for the game. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring ball game. And the Steelers defense will probably do enough to kind of thwart anything that Carson Wentz is going to do. So it's probably, I thought about taking the entire game, but I just really like that Minnesota. The Steelers defense has shown some holes, but they are turning the ball over. So,
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and go into the college football. Bobby, we'll let you take the first pick here on college football. What's your college football pick? Because I knew you were in the middle of saying it right before I cut you off to keep us.
Yeah, I was so eager to get to it because I'm so confident in it. Give me Georgia -3.5 at home against Bama. Bama, outside of that Florida State game, they haven't played anybody legit, and I don't think they're headed in the right direction under Kalen DeBoer. I think Georgia's going to get this one done and cover that -3.5 point spread.
By the way, I always give my friends several days to heal before I ask them, are you okay? The whole Florida and falling apart and getting beat by Miami, getting beat pretty soundly.
Just need a lot of coaching staff changes for both my college and NFL teams.
No, you just need to find a stinking offense is what you need to find.
Yeah. Well, Napier's he's hell-bent on calling plays on offense, and he's a disaster there. Disaster at everything he does at Florida. So
how about the
sooner he's gone, the better.
Speaking of disasters and teams that we know and love, how about my Titans bringing this Callahan clown from Cincinnati because they said, well, he's an elite play caller, blah, 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 blah. We're 2 years into this crap, and they've taken the reins away, and he's no longer going to be calling plays. So what the hell is he doing there? Because he's not doing anything else. He's not building a sound program. I mean, that is a disaster. So what the hell's going on? I mean, the only reason why he should be there is for play calling is what we were told. He couldn't figure out Will Levis, and he's quickly ruining Cam Ward.
They can't let that go on for too long.
I mean, if this all comes down to everybody thought that Amy Adams knew what the hell she was doing. They have sung her praises from the get-go. Can't tell you how many morons I've seen bloviating about, oh, the great Amy Adams. What is she doing? By the way, who was the where'd I see that NFL team where one of the daughters is involved and she's on the damn sidelines now?
The Colts. The Colts. Jim
Colts?
Irsay's daughter, I think.
Yeah. And I knew it's because they'd started off with a good record. So they're like, this is great. That is not going to turn out well. And it's not because it's a female over the shoulder of a male coach. It's because coaches, just like most of us in our professional life, you don't want to be micromanaged.
Don't like being nitpicked. Yeah. It's the worst.
And she's going to, not only is she's doing it on the sidelines right over his shoulder. She's literally over his shoulder, backseat driving. That is not going to turn out well. Because eventually there's going to be losses, and then she's going to come up and have questions or complaints in the middle of a ball game or right after a ball game because you're not thinking about the fact the coaches are sucked into this game. They're emotionally, you need to let it breathe. And eventually someone's going to, would you just shut the hell up? Would you just get off me? That is not going to turn out well. I guarantee it.
Yep.
I guarantee it. I've never seen any of it. It's kind of like years ago when Jerry Jones started going down on the sidelines and he was over Jimmy Johnson's shoulder. We all saw how that freaking ended. By the way, that Netflix documentary, really good. Doug, what you got on your first college pick?
My first college pick, I got the over. It's at 52.5. Go over 52.5.
What game?
I've never understood why, especially.
Time?
What's that?
What game? What time?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Georgia game, 7:30 ABC. Give me the over in this game. All I was going to add to this is I do not understand why people still believe that Alabama and Georgia still play defense well. Georgia's defense has been on the decline for 2 years now. Florida State proved how bad Alabama's defense is in that curb stomping at the beginning of the season. So I don't understand why they think that this is going to be some kind of defensive struggle. It's going to be offense. Georgia will win this ball game with a lot of points.
I mean, to be fair, 52.5 is a pretty high spread. It's not enormously high for college football, but it's also not like, it's not like your typical Iowa game where you're like 39.5.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Plus, when these two teams, even when they had good defenses, and the jury's still out on that, in my opinion, but they tend to play higher scoring games.
Yeah.
Probably because they know each other too well. That's I'll tell you what, this is a fun college football weekend. I mean, you've got that, you got the Penn State, Oregon game. It starts off Friday night, Florida State, Virginia. Hopefully that's not a good game, but Virginia is 3-1 and they're at home. That will lead me to my first pick. I'm going with another teaser. Florida State's a 6.5-point favorite. Texas A&M is a 6.5-point favorite. Florida State is at Virginia. A&M is a 3:30 kickoff against Auburn. I'm taking them both just to win. I just need A&M to win. I need Florida State to pull off the win. And I think that's one of the best teasers that you can do all weekend. Bobby, back to you. I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, no, it's Bobby.
I think it's me. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we got it started on college football. I'm going to USC Illinois. I'm looking at this game, and I'm gonna go with the over 61.5. Illinois, they gave up enough points last week to cover that spread alone. And USC themselves, they don't have a very good defense. They never really do. I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. And I'm going to go over 61.5 here pretty confidently.
USC, man, I'll tell you what, that shell shocked me. I did not expect Illinois to get their doors blown off.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it lost, but my goodness, that was a whooping.
I wasn't locked into that game.
wasn't much to be locked into.
No,
Yeah, I was going to say.
watching the Florida Miami game because I think they were on the exact time,
Yeah.
like, same kickoff time. But oof, that was brutal, man. That was like, what the hell? Because the Braves game got over early. That it was like 3:30 or something like that. It was right about the time that FSU was kicking off. So I was locked in and ready to watch some college football by 7:30. I was like, my God, this is a freaking boat race.
Yeah. Real quick, John, that offensive line for the Raiders, I think what you said with Ashton Genty having no room to run, I think he has more yards after contact on the season than he does total yards. That's how poor that line has been.
Yeah,
it has.
As a Raiders fan, I can confirm that for you.
Yeah, I'm sure you know.
As an Ashton Gentry manager, I can confirm that for you.
Yeah.
I knew not to draft all these damn rookies, but I got sucked into this, and now I'm stuck. I got to ride it out, man. I've got so many teams that are 0-3 or 1-2. In our redraft league, I'm actually 3-0, but that that might be my worst team. I'm just getting very fortunate on matchups. Each week I'm like, hey, this past week I won by less than a point. I forget what it was like 0.40. I'm surprised I didn't hear from Dace because I always hear from Dace for this kind of stuff. I was waiting to open up my phone. Go, you son of a bitch, just gonna blow it up. You shy, ain't you? But nothing. I guess I finally broke his will. Whose turn is it next? Is it Doug?
Yeah.
What you got?
3:30 CBS. I've got Ohio State and Washington. I'm giving Washington plus 7.5. Washington offensively is not a bad football team. And Ohio State, I don't think they've truly been tested. I know they played Texas, but I think Archie Manning in that game played scared and didn't run as much as I thought he would. So I don't think Ohio State's been truly tested, and I think Washington will give them that test this week.
Well, we got our first contradiction of the day. I am taking the Ohio State University minus 7.5. I don't feel like that's a lot of points to give up. Their defense is stifling, and all Ohio State's got to do is win by 8 points. Man, and the thing is, this line keeps going towards Washington, and I get it. I understand all the things that Doug laid out. I get it there at home. I get that, but my word. First of all, they get kind of an advantage because they're playing at 3:30 and not a late night game out on the West Coast. So that's going to be 12:30 Eastern time and 12:30 local time, but 3:30 Eastern time. So Ohio State shouldn't have a whole lot of jet lag. The more and more I watch this Ohio State team, I'm going to have to get burned before I bet against the Buckeyes. But I get everything you laid out, Doug. I get it. But I'm going more with the fact that what I saw that they could not move the ball, and I get Arch Manning. By the way, what is he doing? Pimping and stepping over and strutting on Texas? Was it Texas El Paso? No, Sam Houston State.
Sam Houston, yeah.
Arch Manning. I like the tweet by Danny Cannell right at a half, and he quote tweeted, he goes, "This isn't the flex you think it is."
Yeah. He's going to keep doing this against just that level of
competition. Done anything it's anybody relevant, but you score a touchdown on Sam Houston State, and he stands over the defensive back like he's like he's king of the castle. Beat a team that I can remember the name of and then get back to me. All right. Bobby, what you got on your last pick?
My last pick, I'm looking at that LSU Ole Miss game. I'm going to go LSU plus 1.5 here. Ole Miss, they've had some pretty close games, all within one possession against Kentucky and against Arkansas, two teams that are not at the level of LSU. One of those games was at home, even the one against Arkansas. I think LSU, they're the number 4 team in the country for a reason. I like them a lot. I like Nussmeier. I think they're going to get this one done here. So you can take the money line. You can take plus 1.5 for just my safety. I'm going to take plus 1.5. But I think they're going to win this game outright.
Doug, I'll let you go right after I do this. We got our second contradiction. Yeah. I like Ole Miss. Ole Miss is at home. I am taking a money line because I believe right now it's like a minus 130. So in theory, we could both hit. Bobby could
we could.
In theory, LSU going for 2 at the end to try to win the game. If they don't get it, we both win. But
let's pull for like a game-winning field goal for Ole Miss when they're down 2.
I get that Ole Miss hasn't really played a big name, but LSU's schedule isn't as daunting as it looked before. Who is LSU beaten?
Clemson.
LSU squeaked out a game against a Clemson team that does not look like it's got it together. And then they needed a pick 6 to comfortably win against Florida, who looks like a disaster. So, and that was at LSU. That's supposed to be one of the toughest places to win in the country. So you take a team that probably should have won by a field goal, maybe even could have found a way to lose that game if it was closer in the end against Florida. And what was it, Lagaway's 5 interceptions?
Yeah.
And they only win 7 in Clemson. At the time, it was like, man, that's a good, tough win. Now we're like, good night, Irene. Syracuse is kicking you right in the crotch. What are we talking about here? So that no longer looks as impressive as it did. I like Ole Miss at home. The other factor, and this is the little looky-loo type of thing that you got to look deep into the weeds. Did you know that Lane Kiffin's daughter is dating
an LSU player,
the LSU linebacker, the LSU linebacker? He jokingly said, "Take the over" in a tweet.
Take the over. Yep. Take the over.
He gets a chance. He's gonna put it on LSU, baby. This is gonna be fun. I can't wait for this game. 3:30 ABC. Thank God there's no baseball to get in the way of that one, man. That's 3:30 ABC. I'm gonna be locked in between that, Ohio State, Washington, and I think there's another pretty good game. Anyways, we'll get into that in a second. Doug, what is your final college football pick?
My final one is 7 p.m. on ESPN. I got Arizona and Iowa State. I'm taking Arizona plus 6.5. I do not understand this. Iowa State is probably one of the most overrated teams in college football. Real quickly, let's get through who they beat. They beat a crappy, Kansas State team in Dublin. Then they play South Dakota. Well, everybody's supposed to beat South Dakota. They barely got past Arkansas State by 8. They couldn't cover their spread. They haven't covered their spreads all year. They went to Iowa. They played Iowa, barely won on a last-minute field goal. And Arizona, on the other hand, is a team, strong defense, and every week, no matter who they play, they find a way to win. Just give me Arizona 6.5. This is the week Iowa State's shown to be I think, one of the biggest frauds in college football right now.
Bobby, are you getting some kind of indication here that this is like personal for Doug? And I don't know why. I don't know what the
he's got the real vendetta against Iowa State right now. The biggest frauds in college football. I like your logic.
Well, they're number 14 in the country. How can they be number 14 in the country? They're only 3 spots below Indiana, who's actually, after last week, proved how much of a good football team they are. Yeah. And they're only ranked 3 spots below.
Coming to Netflix this fall, fraud. I'm just like envisioning him like painting his face up and pulling the pin out of a grenade. All right, what do we have?
I'll be pulling for Arizona just because the passion that Doug has about this game.
Let's go to our locks real quick. I'll put the numbers up again because I forgot to do it last time. So our locks, we all took a couple of hits last week.
Actually, I didn't. I don't know why I'm 2-2.
Yeah, you did, Doug.
No, I did. I took Washington. They covered.
Took Washington State, and they did not cover.
Well, I took Washington. Why would I take Washington State against the spread on the lock? All right.
I don't know because you were getting 20.5.
Yeah, I took Washington to cover because Washington State's like one of the worst football teams in the country.
That's what we had the conversation about. I don't know, Doug.
I took Washington, but okay. All right.
That'll be episode 2. I went back and listened to these so I know them. So you did take Washington State play. You weren't getting 20.5 points.
Call on the field is confirmed.
Yeah. But anyways, Doug, we will let you go first so that you don't start throwing grenades at me. What you got?
Well, take my lock. Take Air Force 6.5 to beat Hawaii.
What time? What time is
it's
that?
a 4 o'clock game on FS1.
And FS1 still around?
Yeah, they're here just to cover the Hawaii games when Hawaii comes across the lake.
So 4 o'clock FS1. What's the line you're getting? 6.5?
6.5.
Are you taking Air Force or are you taking Hawaii?
Air Force, yes. Air Force to cover the 6.5.
Hey, I don't want to get on some kind of list of yours. All right, Bobby, what you got on your lock?
I'm looking back over my 6-pack of picks, and the one that stands out to me that I'm the most confident about, and I'm not doing it to reverse jinx anyone. I'm taking Seahawks money line as my lock of the week. I'm very confident in winning this game. They looked good last week. The Cardinals looked the opposite, and we lost our second best offensive player, one of our two only good offensive players. And obviously with Will Johnson being out, I think you'll see how big of a miss that is tonight for the Cardinals. Now he is listed as doubtful, but that's typically a pretty good indication that he won't play, or at least he won't play in very high capacity. So yeah, give me Seahawks money line here.
Doug, just so you know, I will go back and check it one more time before the weekend starts, and if I'm wrong, I will give you the W. But I'm pretty sure I know what I heard. But anyways, it happens. One of us made a mistake. It happens. Okay.
I could have misspoke because my intention was Washington, but no worries, no worries.
So all right, my lock. So I feel like this is kind of a high number, and maybe I'm drinking some Kool-Aid I shouldn't be drinking, but it's fun to finally see Florida State back and winning. Virginia's over-under is 24.5 offensive points to score. I don't think they're going to get there. Florida State's defense is pretty good. They held Bama to less. Bama's offense is much better than Virginia's. Now, I get it that it's in Virginia. There could be goofy things, turnovers, et cetera, but that's going to be my lock. Virginia does not clear 24.5. They may get darn close and make me sweat all night long, but I don't think that they are going to get to the 24.5. So that is my lock. I'll tell you what, though, we still have PTSD, Florida State fans, for playing Virginia on a weird night. Thursday night, 1995, Florida State was on, I think it was a 28 or 29 game winning streak in the ACC, and we lost to Virginia on the road on a Thursday night game back when college football did Thursday nights back in the good old days. And I'm still ticked off because Warwick Dunn crossed the goal line, but this is before replay. And you could see the ball go over the goal line, and then he hit the ground, and the umpires on both sides came running in. By the time they called it, everything had moved, and they thought he was down, et cetera, et cetera. But he cleared the goal line. I'm still pissed about that. So I don't feel that great about going in to Charlottesville on a night game on a short week. The only plus part of this is we get an extra day of rest. We face the Miami Hurricanes next week. And that's going to be the game of the year if Florida State can get past Virginia. I believe Miami's on a bye. All right, cool games as we start to wind this sucker up. All right, Doug, what's your cool game of the weekend, college or pro? Doesn't matter.
Cool game. Duke and Syracuse. No, I'm not. That's a joke. My cool game this week is the Oregon Penn State game. These two teams, are both perennial favorites to win the national championship. And this is, to me, this is where the truth comes out. I mean, a lot of games this week are that way, but especially we find out if Oregon is who everybody thinks Oregon is.
All right, Bobby, what's your cool game?
My cool game, I'm looking at the NFL here, and of course, I'm going with the Ravens-Chiefs game. Two very good teams, but they both got a lot to figure out. They don't want to start 1-3. It's a rough start to the season. Even whoever loses this game, one of them is going to start 1-3, bar a tie. I still think both these teams make the playoffs, but they both got a lot to get in order here. The Ravens, I still think, even though they have had a bit of a rough start, I still think they have one of the best teams in the league. The Chiefs, of course, they're the Chiefs. Not much needs to be said about them. This is going to be a fun one. I could see this being a potential AFC Championship game rematch down the line.
My cool game is, I'm surprised that nobody took this, but I honestly thought at least somebody would take the Alabama-Georgia game. So I don't have it on my list, but it's being overshadowed because of the brands of Alabama-Georgia. But give me LSU Ole Miss. They're undefeated. You got two teams in the top 15. LSU's ranked 4th in the country. Whoever wins this one starts getting an inside track to the playoffs, and it is an actual classic rivalry. Georgia-Alabama has formed into a rivalry of recent years, but that's not an old school rivalry because for years and years and years, they were in separate divisions and did not play that often. Georgia-Auburn's a classic rivalry. But Alabama, Georgia, that is a Nick Saban created rivalry because of the Kirby Smart thing and all that kind of stuff. Give me LSU Ole Miss, and I think that will be a great one. What is your one big thing, Doug? Walk it off.
This is what I call the truth or tell weekend. Ohio State. You just talked about Ole Miss, LSU. This is where we find out who a lot of the fakers are and who's really some of the best teams in college football this weekend.
Bobby, what is your one big thing?
Tonight will spell the beginning of the end for the Cardinals coaching staff. If they look like they did last week, especially on the offensive side of the football. Jonathan Gannon, he said after the game last week that he will never question the offensive play calling from Drew Petzing. If we look like we did last week, then prepare to go down with that ship because everybody's going. Wow, man, you have had it with him, huh? I'm about done with him. I'm done with the offense coordinator for sure. He's irredeemable. He's terrible.
How
Jonathan
many
right on the verge of
years has he been in now?
This is the second year.
That's what I thought. That's interesting.
But it doesn't take me long to figure out if a coach doesn't have it or not. I've been saying fire Napier for 3 years now. So
I almost took it as one of my picks, but because we're condensed now, I'll probably end up grabbing it on the radio broadcast later this week. But my one big thing is it's getting overshadowed because of all the other big games. And I'm not even talking about the Texas A&M Auburn game. Indiana is going to hand it to Iowa. And when they do that, not only are they going to jump into the top 10, someone's got to start taking them serious. That offense is for real. That offense was clicking. That is a much better offense than we saw last year. So that's my one big thing. The Hoosiers are for real. They're going to prove it on Peacock. I assume that's the only way you can see it because I don't see it /NBC. That's how they get you, man. That's how they get you. Anyways, Peacock, 3:30. There are so many great ball games. Get a ton of sleep on Friday night because it is going to be a long, long day on Saturday as we walk it off here. Also, don't forget, late Saturday night, want to make sure I get the time right, 10:15, BYU undefeated, going into Colorado to face Deion Sanders. They are a 6.5-point favorite. That's a sneaky line there. I'll tell y'all on the radio end what I like on that, but it's one of my favorite picks of the week. Y'all have a great one. Thanks. Great job, guys. And Doug, I will go under the hood and look at you as soon as I get done. Blaze Country today is coming your way in about 5 minutes. Y'all have a great one.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well,
talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's closing time, y'all. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Have a great one. On your way out, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to tip your favorite bartender. We'll see you. I'm Magee, signing off for Braves Country Radio.